So it's been about a month with my iPhone XR. Now listen, I get it. The iPhone XR is almost a year old, but the main reason I got this phone, as you guys know if you have been following me, is because I wanted to see, is it worth getting the cheaper version of the iPhone? And so I can make videos on the iPhone. That's another reason I got it as well. So like since forever, I've always been using the most expensive iPhone model. Like since they came out with the cheaper and the not so cheaper version. Now, as you guys remember, I switched to the Galaxy S10 Plus because I didn't think the iPhone XS Max was really worth the money. But that's because it is the most expensive iPhone. I never owned the cheaper iPhone. It's still expensive, but it's cheaper. So has my thoughts changed? Or I guess I meant to say, have my thoughts changed? Yeah, that's it. You guys obviously read the video title. Let's address the elephant in the room. And I'm not talking about myself. I got water damage on my month-old iPhone XR. Now you guys are saying, Mark, you're an idiot. It's not waterproof. I know, it's not. It's water resistant. It's IP67 rated. This goes to show that IP ratings don't mean anything. People think you can go into the pool, like myself. People think you can go to the beach. Pretty much people think it is liquid proof, but it's not. It's more or less just fresh water resistant. If you take your iPhone, or really any phone with rubber grommets or rubber seals, if you take it into the pool has very harsh chemicals that break down that seal. Maybe not the first time you do it, maybe not the second time, maybe not the third. I can go on, but eventually the chemicals will eat away at the seals, and then boom, your $1,000+ phone, if you have it, is now dead. Same thing if you go to the beach. Salt water also destroys the seals of the phone, and well, same can occur. So all I did was just bring my iPhone literally this deep into water. Let's just all pretend that my eyes are the water line. I literally was holding it like this, underwater. So this much underwater. And I held it underwater no more than about 10 seconds at a time for no more than 1 minute. So I took a few photos, not just one. I did take about 5-6 photos, but the longest consecutive time underwater was about 6-7 seconds, 10 seconds tops. In fact, if you're following me on Instagram, you saw this happen live. And if you're not following me, follow me. Anyway, everything was good for like 1 to 2 hours, right? I got home, everything was cool, everything was good. I noticed my screen was flickering. I got really creeped out. Then I noticed this like black, kind of a very like mild black on white backgrounds. Like the bottom half of the phone was kind of blackish a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm screwed. So I tried to get the water out. I did the basic things. You first take out the SIM card, because the SIM card is literally a huge hole in your phone. So if there was water in it, it would come out that way. And it did. I took out the SIM card. I started kind of patting my phone up against my bed, and I literally saw like a lot of water. Not like the Atlantic Ocean pouring out of there, no. But it was like an eyedropper, like a half an eyedropper full of water. That came right out. So, okay. And then I did the same thing with the bottom speaker. I tapped the bottom speaker on my bed to get the water out. Nothing really came out at all. And then I did the same thing with the top speaker. So I put the phone like this is my bed, and I just kind of like patted it down. A little bit of water came out, nothing much, like 1 to 2 drops. So then I was like, cool, we just fixed the problem. I am Bill Nye the Science Guy. But then I noticed Face ID stopped working. And I was like, I am not Bill Nye the Science Guy. So I tried to re-register my face. Nope, didn't work. The camera kept focusing, pulsing on my face. It was weird. It said Face ID is not like, what did it say? Face ID is not supported, or Face ID is just not working. Try again later. I was like, okay, well, that's not gonna work. So I turned my phone off completely. I kept the SD card slot open. Again, it is the biggest hole in the phone. You wanna leave that open when it comes to water damage. So I put my phone in a bunch of silica gels. I pretty much covered the phone with silica gels. I put it in a plastic container so no air can get in or can get out. It's not, I mean, it's not like, you know, air locked, but whatever. It apparently worked, okay? Because 2 days later, the phone turned on fine. The screen was still a little bit dark on the bottom, but everything seemed to be working. So I was like, okay, we're making progress. So I thought to myself, if water is trapped in there, the best way to get rid of it is by evaporating it. So I took a lighter and I started burning the bottom of the, really, but what I did do was the next best thing. I turned on Fortnite. Now you guys are probably saying, Mark, are you okay? What are you talking about? Did you get enough sleep today? The answer to all that is no. But really, I did turn on Fortnite. I didn't play it, I just turned it on because if you guys don't know, if you play high demanding games on your phone, it burns like crazy. So with the SD cards, SIM card, not SD card, it doesn't have it. With the SIM card tray fully opened, I put Fortnite on maximum brightness to heat the phone up, and I also put it on top of a wireless charger. Now those two things combined for 6 hours of nonstop gaming, my phone got really hot, like really hot. The screen actually dimmed even though it was on max brightness. That's how hot it got. And apparently it worked. I noticed that the front camera and the rear camera were all very blurry. Like it was just condensation city. I was like, yeah, I just made it worse. So I thought. So I put it back in the silica gel, closed it up. Like 7 hours later, like there was no water anywhere to be found. Both the lenses were nice and clear. The video was working, the front camera was working, everything was fine. The SIM card started working again. I forgot to mention that my SIM card was also not working. So after I did all that stuff, everything was working. There was no weird black spot on the screen. Everything was just as if it never touched water. Except wireless charging no longer works. Like my phone notices it's on a wireless charger, but like it doesn't charge anymore. It says charging, like the little lightning bolt pops up on the battery, but the battery doesn't go up. It charges through the lightning port, but not the wireless charger. So, oh well. And Face ID is still busted. And I thought water was the reason Face ID broke, but it's not. I started randomly shaking my phone. I don't know why I did this, but I started shaking my phone. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there is something loose in there. There's something loose. I can hear it, okay? I'm not crazy. So my guess is that I think the flood illuminator is broken on the phone. It somehow got loose. But the thing is, I never dropped my phone in the 1 month of owning it. Literally never dropped it, ever. So my only reasoning is that I think whenever I was kind of doing this to my phone, smacking to get the water out on my bed, I think I must have broken the flood illuminator. So don't drop your iPhone or don't even hit it against your bed. But other than everything, which was my fault, again, it was my fault, the phone has been working fine. And to this day, I still think the iPhone XR is the best iPhone I have owned. It is well, it's not worth the money if you're considering Android. I think it's worth the money a lot if you only want Apple devices, because I see no reason at all to go to the XS. No reason. I don't use the telephoto camera. Never once in the month that I've used it was I like, damn, I need that picture to be at a 50mm focal length. That just never occurred to me, so I don't really care. And the screen is another thing many people think is bad. It is bad if you compare it to my S10 Plus. It is, well, I don't want to say super bad, but it is noticeably, literally worse in every single way possible. But if you compare it to the iPhone XS, honestly, there is not much of a difference. If you put them side by side and you look at it, yeah, you'll see a difference because it's a comparison. But if you actually use the phone day to day without having a comparison device, your eyes just get used to it. Like, they're not constantly comparing with other phones, obviously. So you get used to it and the screen is fine. Obviously the blacks are not that black, and the colors don't pop that much. But again, you'll only really notice that if you have a comparison device that's better sitting right next to it. And we don't walk around with two of the same devices. And let's not forget, this screen is actually bigger than the XS. So that might be something to look forward to. Now the battery on the phone, again, is still my all-time favorite. I'm constantly ending the day with like 25–30% battery left. And on days that I do run the battery all the way down, which is never recommended, but when I do it, I am like almost 100% of the time have a screen on time of over 8 hours. That's pretty good. I mean, that's, you know, we live in a day where we're pretty close to a charger. So that doesn't really matter for me, but it's just good to have a good screen on time, and this phone definitely has a good screen on time. In fact, the only cosmetic issues with the phone during the month is scratches on the screen, which is really weird because my S10 Plus doesn't have any scratches on the screen, and my Pixel 3a, which has the cheap Dragon Trail glass that everyone is freaking out about, saying how it's super bad quality, even that doesn't have any scratches. But the S10 or the Galaxy, the iPhone XR, I have so many phones, first world problems, has literally visible scratches. So I don't know what's that about. So guys, that is pretty much it. That's my little review, I guess. I mean, it's an iPhone. We all know what an iPhone is. Do you guys need me to tell you the specs? If you guys did enjoy this video, click that like button. It really helps this channel out. It helps me not go broke completely. And also subscribe if you are new here, and maybe check out a few of my other videos, and be sure to laugh at me, I guess. So let me know, do you have the iPhone XR? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Did you get water damage? Let me know, I'm kind of curious. As always, guys, this was Mark from Mark's Tech. Adios.